to learn. But this was awesome to see the quality of production that actually can be had without having a TV studio or something like that, right? Like for me, I'm like, how can I get something that's high quality from this spot that I'm sitting right here, which is my office, and make it look good, sound good, and the quality be like studio quality. So I am thoroughly impressed, hands down.
I got to tell you, there are a lot of people who talk about how JP puts things together and they look so slick and polished. What I'm also really impressed by, even beyond the things that you may see, is on the outside, is the stuff that is happening behind the scenes, because the systems and the processes, all the stuff, the machinery that JP's got in place, man knows his stuff. So super impressive, and it's really a privilege to be here and be part of it.
What you have is a glimpse into the future of content. If you're watching this like on your TV right now, think about what you just saw. If you're watching this on your phone, think about all the elements. What's so different between what he has here right now, Content Creation University and on the show, than what you watch on Apple, what you watch on Netflix? Nothing, right? I am amazed, number one, at your excellence. Like the ability to be able to take a simple sponsor like VPN and turn it into a real commercial. I'm sorry, that's something big. The ability to be able to build what you built, and you're just getting started. This isn't like, right. Something. It's like this just getting started. So it's just like, between you, your team, and just the ability to be able to take these things and then be able to infuse a conversation, with high-level entrepreneurs, with different people who have ideas, thought leaders, I think, and give people something of value that they walk away with. It's hard to pull off, y'all. He makes this stuff look easy. It's not easy. But the greatest part is that's why this platform exists. So if you're not subscribed, if you're not tuned in, you're not collapsing time. One of the greatest things you could ever do is listen to people who are already doing it and done it, so that way you can collapse. I mean, you don't have to make the same mistakes they did.
Reasons why you are not successful in business is because of this: the game. See, you can be the most talented YouTuber, photographer, videographer, graphic designer, coach, author, you name it. You can be the most talented basketball player in your neighborhood. But in order for you to join the big boys, the NBA, you need to understand how the game is played. See, in order for you to understand or learn the rules of the game, you need somebody that has played there before. Somebody that has learned and mastered the rules of the game to teach you that. And once you learn that, you will be able to be drafted. And here's what happens. After you drafted, you will get a coach that's gonna keep your amazing talent in check. See, you cannot just get on the field and do whatever you wanna do. Here's the sad reality. Talent alone is not enough for you to be successful in business. Having all the amazing equipment that you need to get the job done is still not enough for you to be successful. Now, when I say successful, I mean being able to consistently land premium clients. That's why I decided to create Content Creators University. Who am I? My name is JP Hightek. I am a global branding expert. I am also the founder and CEO of a media agency called Perfect Zone Productions. As a matter of fact, you are in one of my studios right now.
Hey, it's Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV.
Hey everybody, my name is Michelle Singh. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I have an educational consulting firm.
Hey you guys, James Hicks here from Hicks New Media.
JP has an incredible presence you know, when I go and I look people up and try to find out more about them, everything was stellar. Anything that you could find about JP showed that he was an upstanding gentleman, that he delivered amazing and beautiful visual presence, that he tells the truth and he is authentic and genuine. And all of those things made me say, yes, absolutely.
I just worked with JP Hightek from Perfect Zone Productions, and we spent the entire day together doing photos and video shoots for my rebranding of my company. And when I tell you the entire experience was amazing, it was amazing.
Right, I had the privilege of working with JP on some brand and media assets that I wanted worked on within my studio, and everything from the initial conversation to the planning discussions to the constructive feedback and criticism that I was given from him was absolutely spot on.
I was all on it because I believed in him and I could see what he was capable of doing through the lens of others who have been on the internet that have been impacted by him and his truth. So I actually became a client of JP because he gave me truth. He said, you know what, I like your live stream. I enjoy the content, but the presence, what you're putting out there in terms of the professionalism of your live stream needs to match the level of the excellence of content that you're delivering. And when he said this, I paused for a minute and I thought, he's so right. So what did I do? I asked, can you help me? Can you and your team help me? And JP and his team created the most beautiful graphics. They were perfectly branded for me, for what I wanted to do with Stream Like a Boss. I find myself using them consistently and regularly in almost every live stream show that I do, and I often get compliments and people DMing and asking, who did your graphics? Who put that together?
This is me before JP.
And this is me after JP. Do I look awesome or what? I finally have correct colors. I'm human. Yes, I am human. I have the correct colors in the background, my regular purples that I can see with them. You know, I can see the purples. I can see the purples. So I'm really happy, JP, for you putting this together for me, this custom LUT. It took about 48 hours and it was really amazing customer service. So go ahead and get yours. This is Dr. Elo out.
And I thank him, I thank his team for what they've provided me. I definitely look forward to working more and closely with them in the future as my needs evolve. So I really just wanted to tell folks, if you're looking for someone to help you design, build either a website, media kit, some type of branding materials, definitely check out my man JP Hightek and his team. Appreciate you, man.
So if you're looking for photos, rebranding, video, commercials, anything I guess related to that media aspect and branding aspect of your company, I highly recommend Perfect Zone Productions. Not only did they provide the environment and the space for me to get the images and the videos that I needed done, but everything even down to the outfits and even down to the makeup was a part of the experience. And so if you're looking for somebody to just do it all for you and your company as far as branding, Perfect Zone Productions, JP Hightek, that's who you need to contact.
We have the talent already. We have the motivation already. We have maybe the equipment that we need already. What else is there? Come and learn with me. Let me teach you the rules, the things that I had to learn to take my business to 6 figures. The day my company made $100,000, I understood how to apply those things. And once you learn how to apply those rules, you can 10x that. Now I'm able to take my podcast, Content Creators University, and I was able to land so many clients that last year, in a matter of 4 to 5 months, I was able to make the same 6 figures. You can do the same thing too. This is not rocket science. You just need to learn. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. This takes a lot of work. Nobody's gonna do it for you. You must be willing to do the job. See, here's the deal. Entrepreneurship means that you are willing to be working when everybody else is asleep. You're willing to put in 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Today, now is the time to put in the hard work. Hey family, guess what? The Content Creators University is a show that airs every single week, but I want to connect with you. I want you to go ahead and download my mobile application. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and download my app called JP Hightek TV right now onto your phone. If you have a TV, a smart TV, my app is also available on your Roku TV, right? Go ahead and download JP Hightek TV on your Roku TV or your Amazon Fire TV right now, and let's connect together, right? I want you to grow with me. I want us to grow together. If you love podcasts, I'm also happy to tell you that the Content Creators University is available syndicated across every podcast platform. Apple Podcasts, Audible, Google Podcasts, you name it, we are there. Spotify and all of that. Go ahead and download it, listen to it, and do me a favor. If you appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Leave me a review on any of those podcast platform or mobile application platform. Let me know if any of the hard work that we're putting into this community, this broadcast, this podcast is helping you. If you appreciate all the amazing guests that we're bringing onto the platform to share their expertise with you. This is a lot of work, family, and I'm doing all this in order for you to be able to grow your business the right way, leveraging content creation. Thanks so much, and if you appreciate what we do, go ahead as well subscribe to the YouTube channel JP Hightek Reviews. Follow me personally if you want to connect with me on all social media, and the handle is at JP Hightek. I love connecting. Like I always say, network is the new currency. So I want to see you online, I want to connect with you, and I want to hear from you. Let's grow together. Be safe, like I always say. See you next time. Shalom. Peace.
What's going on, family, and welcome to another episode of the Content Creators University. Man, I am excited. Why? Because every week we have this rendezvous, and every week we have amazing guests. We call them professors, and today we're talking about how to shift in your business, right? How can you shift from one thing to another? Now, if you're at a place where you're wondering, there's certain things you're trying to do, there's certain things you're trying to change, but you're not certain on the best way to shift. Well, we have an amazing guest today who actually shifted from the NFL to podcasting and other amazing things that he's doing. And he's doing it in excellence. And we're about to talk about how exactly did he shift? What's his story? So we can learn from his expertise and background. I'm excited about that. If you're new to this platform, allow me to introduce myself. My name is JP Hightek. I am a global branding and media expert. I help small businesses, entrepreneurs, and, corporation build a premium brand by leveraging, content creation, live video, photography, videography, graphic design, web design, and all those things to allow you to actually charge more for your product and services. So that's what we do. If you're looking at this, you're like, hey, I wonder how JP is doing all this. How is he able to broadcast and look like this? Well, that's what we do. We help people do this. And guess what, family? We are live on Amazon. So shout out to anybody that's watching this on Amazon Live right now. Just to let you guys know, on Amazon, anything and everything you see happening right now on the screen, whether it's the microphone, the switchers, the lens, the camera, the combination of the lightings that we have in this, all of that is in the carousel below. All you have to do is go ahead and click on it and purchase it if you like what you see. With all the deals that are happening right now, end of the year, go ahead and check it out again. If you're not watching on Amazon right now, follow me on Amazon. The link is right there. Now, family, this is the season 4. And we have a lot of amazing guests lined up for season 4, man. Oh, I'm so excited. And they're coming here to teach us amazing stuff. So, family, get ready, because this is something you're not going to regret. Now, the way we do it is every single week we have the news, what's happening in the Content Creators University. Then we'll bring our guest onto the stage. But guys, I want to give a shout out to the folks that are joining us in the comment section from everywhere. We're broadcasted, available on so many platforms. Shout out to Garen Bulani, all the way from LinkedIn, another amazing content creator right there. Now, looking forward to having Gary as well on this platform in the future. That will be fantastic. We're working on that for you guys. All the best for you guys, family. And look at that. We have my brother, James Bush Jr. What's good, brother? Thank you for joining us there on Facebook. So, family, let's dive into this and let's talk about the news right after this. All right, family, let's go ahead and dive into this right now. We have some news, and that is the Content Creators University that is taking place, family. It is taking place November 17th and 18th. Get ready, family. And we have 10 amazing speakers. I repeat, 10 amazing speakers, family. And I'm talking Tania Smith, Kirk Nugent, Toy Sweeney, Troy Sandage, Monty Weaver, Pierre Quinn, Jeff Barch, Jermaine Freeman, Carissa Jennings. And what we're talking about is everything you need to grow your business, leveraging content creation, right? And the topics that we're about to dive into during this free conference, right, is the power of content marketing strategy, the power of building a successful community, creating a business with your content. There's a way to create a business, family. If you're truly serious about monetizing it, well, come and learn the best way to do that. All right. How to drive business engagement with live video, right? The fact that you're going live doesn't mean you will get engagement. There's a way to do that. How do you drive that? Well, come and learn during the conference how to position yourself as an expert, right? Yes, you're an expert, but people don't know you. So how can you position yourself so people are willing to actually listen to you and buy your product or services? We're about to talk about that during the conference and making money with a premium brand. Do you just have a brand or a business? And how do you make money with your brand after you build it? We're talking about that and how to grow your business with story. How do you do that? Your story matters, but how do you leverage your story to grow your business, right? And your brand image matters. And how is it that you can leverage your brand image to level up and really grow and impact? And family, ways to overcome failure mindset as an entrepreneur. Family, this is a free conference. And the official sponsor on this is Ecamm Live. That's allowing us to offer this to you guys free. But here's the deal. Unless you register, you will not be able to attend this free conference, right? It is free to register, but you need to register to attend it. Now, how do you do that? All you have to do is go to contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference. contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference will allow you to register for this free conference called Creators Unleashed. And this is the second edition. We had a first edition last year. It was a complete success. Now is the second edition this year. I'm very, very excited about it. Now, talking about our sponsors, for the folks that don't know, this show is both listener and sponsor supported. And like I'm saying, one of our sponsors for this conference is Ecamm Live. And Ecamm Live is the best encoder, right? Live streaming and video production built for Mac. And that's what I'm using currently to encode my live stream out to you guys. So go ahead and get yourself a free 15-day trial. All you have to do is go to bit.ly/Ecamm Live free. bit.ly/Ecamm Live free. Go ahead and try it out. You will love this. So another sponsor that we have on this broadcast is ExpressVPN, and they've decided to sponsor season 4 of this show. So go ahead, family, and get yourself free 3 month of ExpressVPN, family. All you have to do is go to expressvpn.com/JP Hightek. expressvpn.com/JP Hightek, and you get free 3 month for all the viewers and followers of my community. Go ahead and check that out, man. That will be amazing for the folks that are online. You understand the power of using a VPN, protecting your digital investment, and not exposing yourself to potential leaks or hacks. Well, you need a good VPN for that. And I personally use ExpressVPN. They're phenomenal. Again, expressvpn.com/JP Hightek is the place to go. Go ahead and check it out, family. You will not regret that. Now, a lot of folks usually ask me, JP, we see you have your Roku TV application, your Fire TV application. How are you doing that? Well, family, I'm using a solution called RTN Streams. And all you have to do is go to rtnstreams.com. I repeat, rtnstreams.com is a solution that I'm using to have my Roku TV and Amazon Fire TV application. And right now, this show, even though it's live everywhere else, including Amazon Live, you can watch it on your Roku TV at home or your Amazon Fire TV at home. And I want to give a shout out to the folks that are watching us every single week when we go live here. Download the app, family. You won't regret it. The app name is JP Hightek TV. That's my app name. And if you want yours, just go to rtnstreams.com and get yours. As simple as that. Now, folks, some of you guys are like, JP, I want to connect with you. I really want to work with you. I need your help to help me level up, build a premium brand, and master some of the things that I'm doing so that I can charge more for my product and services and show up, like the expert that I'm supposed to be and build that community. Well, if you need our help, all you have to do is go to my website. That is jphightek.com. If you're listening to the podcast, that is jphightek.com is the place for you to go. All right. So that will be closing it for the news. Now, we're about to bring our guest onto the stage, Irving Fryar. You're in for a treat, family. Without further ado, we're about to bring him right after this. Stay with me. We'll be right back. Hey. Welcome to the Content Creators University. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Boy, you're about business. You're doing your thing, man. Look, I made it. I told my wife I'm on JP Hightek asked me to be on his show. I done made it. in the podcast world, I'm at the top of the mountain right now.
Hey, man, it is an honor. Huge honor to even have you on this platform. You're an amazing fella and you're doing amazing things, man. And it is an honor to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to accept our invitation and showing up tonight. We have a lot to learn from you, and people are showing up in the comment section. So I'm giving y'all a shout out. James Hicks, what's good, James Hicks? Thanks for being here, man. We are excited to have you up in here. Hey, James Riley. What's going on, James Riley? We are excited to also have you all the way from Facebook right there. And look at that, Silverhead Fitness. Look at that. We have the family showing up. What's good? Thanks for being here with us, family. We're excited. Now, Irving, people are like, JP is so excited. Who is this dude, man? We don't know this guy.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't get much love. I mean, not that I'm looking for love in the podcast world or the podcast community, but I'm getting some love right now. If nobody else loves me, I'm getting some love from the man right now.
So let him know, man. Let him know. Who is Irving Fryar? Take a minute, introduce yourself to the folks that are just discovering you for the first time today.
Well, to some, my name is familiar. I'm a former NFL wide receiver. I was drafted, the first player drafted in the NFL draft in 1984. I played 17 years in the NFL, 9 years with the Patriots, then 3 years with the Miami Dolphins, then 3 years with the Philadelphia Eagles, and then my last 2 years with the Washington Redskins, which are now the Washington Commanders. Once I retired, I did a little bit of work in TV, worked in Atlanta with CNNSI and did a live show every Sunday. Then AOL came in and bought CNNSI and shut down the show. So then I did some sports reporting here with ABC, Action News, Channel 6 in Philadelphia. And then the Lord spoke and called me to pastor a church. And I had to leave the sports world, so to speak, as far as covering the sports and focus on the church. And I've been doing that for the last 19 years. Just recently, though, the Lord has opened some doors and allowed me to get reconnected with the sports or with the football and entertainment world again. So I'm doing some pregame analysis. I do some during the game commentary for a group called the Green Legion. And I work also inside the live casino here in Philadelphia. I'm still pastoring. And I am the CEO of a community development corporation. We have a couple of agreements with a couple of hotels down in Atlantic City, which is working out pretty good. We do what we can. Things have kind of. We formed a community development corporation right before COVID hit, so things dried up for us, and we didn't have any experience, so to speak. But we're still hustling, and some doors have opened for us. But then during COVID as well, I started doing things virtually with the podcast, ended up doing a podcast, started the Fryar Place, in July of 2021. It's just over a year old now. We have almost 2,000 subscribers, and it's just fun. I love it. It's frustrating sometimes because of the equipment, and technology sometimes just doesn't do what you want it to do when you need it to do it. And sometimes something goes wrong. You're trying to figure it out. That's a little bit, but I'm 60 years old. When I started this, I was 59. I'm 60 now. And Ecamm has been a big part of it. And if I can do this and have fun doing it and do well doing it and look good doing it and sound good doing it, anybody can do it.
Yo, and you are doing it with excellence. And that's one of the reasons why you're here today, because you're just doing amazing stuff. And you said a lot of things that may have flown over some people's head, right? Talk about being in the NFL. Talk about being called by the Lord and pastoring the church for several years now. Talk about, getting back in there and creating associations and working again in the industry. There's so much going on. And now here you are here. But people don't realize we're about to take a look at your setup, your behind the scenes, everything you have that makes you look.
You want to show that now?
We're going to show in a little bit. We will show in a little bit.
Okay.
Before we show that, one thing that I wanted us to share is let's go back. Let's go back into your time in the NFL. First of all, how did you end up there, man? Like, how old were you when you joined, and how was that experience until you actually left the NFL?
Well, it was when I was drafted, I was 21 years old. Obviously, in high school, I was a what they would say is a great athlete, a blue chip athlete. Let's say it that way. I was a blue chip athlete, being recruited baseball and football all across the country. I ended up, because a friend of mine that I grew up with named Mike Rozier, who ended up winning the Heisman Trophy in 1983. He and I grew up together. We were being recruited by the same schools. Our families knew each other. So we both decided to go to the University of Nebraska, and we ended up both doing well, All-Americans, getting drafted. Actually, the USFL was taking place during that time. So we had two pools to be swooned by. And Mike ended up going into the USFL and then eventually the NFL, but I went straight into the NFL and ended up playing 17 years. It was, it was different for me. It was something that came natural to me. I was a natural athlete. So playing football wasn't stressful for me, so to speak. I worked hard to stay in shape. I worked hard at my craft. But to tell you the truth, JP, football is not something I wanted to do, really. I didn't want to go to college. Yeah, I didn't want to go to college because I was finished. I was tired of school by the time I got to be a senior in high school. And all I wanted to do, I had a couple of uncles who had been Marines, one who had fought in Vietnam, and they were my heroes. And I wanted to be like them. So I wanted to be a Marine. I wanted to go into the Marines and fly jets off of aircraft carriers. That's what I wanted to do. But given the opportunity through the scholarships to go to college, my mother, and I listened to my mother, which some young folk don't do these days. They don't listen to their mothers. But I listened to my mother, and I went to school because I was the first one in our family to ever go to college. Okay. So I did that. And when I got to college, my major was meteorology because I had a plan.
Oh, snap.
My plan was to graduate from college and go into the Marines as an officer, and meteorology would help me with my plan to fly jets. So my junior year, going into my senior year, there's all this talk about the NFL and going to be drafted and all that kind of stuff. So now my senior year comes to an end, and we played for the national championship. We didn't win the national championship, but we played for it. We were always at the top in terms of the rankings of teams in the NCAA. The football teams. And so my plan was still, this is going to sound crazy, but my plan was still to be a Marine.
Wow.
But when I got home, my senior year, I came home at the end of the season and couldn't find my family. We were homeless. My mother and father and my two sisters were living somewhere other than where we were living, and I didn't know it. And so my mom said, and I wasn't going to go into the draft. That was my plan. I'm going in Marines. I was coming home for a little bit, then I was going to sign up for the Marines, going to Marines. Mom said, we need a house. You got to go in the NFL. so you can get some money so we can get a house. So that's what I did. So it started out as a necessity to help with the family.
Mhm.
And then over the next 4 or 5 years, it just, I began to really get involved with the competitiveness of it, with the statistics, with guys in the league. And I just ran with it until I retired 17 years later. It was fun. I don't miss the game, so to speak. I miss the camaraderie. I miss the fellowship with the brethren on the teams, and still talk to some of the guys, or a lot of the guys, I should say, that I played with on all 4 teams. But it was a great experience. It's everything that everybody thinks is cracked up to be. Now, I played during a time, 1984 all the way to 2000. So I played during a time that's not like it is today. Didn't have social media, didn't have Snapchat, didn't have Twitter, didn't have Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff that's available now that these athletes and professional people can brand themselves with to advance who and what they're trying to do in their lives. So I came up in a different time. So they have so many more opportunities with all of this technology that's made available to us now.
Right.
And it's just going to continue to get better. And obviously the money is a whole lot better. I think I was born about 13 years too soon. 13. I need 13 years too soon. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was a great experience. I've been able to, during that time, I was able to, again, play in several Pro Bowls, and become in certain areas a name where people recognize my name. So it was a great opportunity, and I still use the NFL to do what I do with my podcast when it comes to making phone calls, to getting guests, inviting guests to be on the podcast. That always helps. The
Absolutely.
NFL,
I mean, it is part of your background.
Yes.
It's part of your story.
Yes.
It's part of who you are, what allowed
Yes.
you to be where you are today. So, I mean, it's just natural to leverage your story to get some doors open for you. And that's phenomenal. Now, podcasting. You mentioned podcasting. How exactly, where did you get the idea to start doing podcasts? Like, where did that come from? The desire to start a podcast and to be doing this production at a high level. Did you always want to be a podcaster, or how did that happen? Tell us.
No, that just like football. No, it just kind of happened, JP. It just whatever I do, and I think this happens like with you. We see what you're doing through social media. We see what you're doing on your podcast. We see what you're doing on your Content Creators University. Everything's at a certain level of excellence, because that's who you are. You do everything. And I think people who do things with a certain level of excellence, that applies in every area of their lives. I'm just that way. You're just that way. So whatever I do, if it ain't going to be right, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And it's got to be a certain way. So with podcasting, it was not something that I started out intending on doing. 3 years ago, not any intention at all. Before COVID started, not any intention at all. I didn't start the Fryar Place, which is the name of my YouTube channel, my YouTube show, podcast show. I didn't start that until July of 2021, which was just over a year ago. I bought my first camera in April of 2021. Then I started the podcast in July. Prior to that, nothing. I wasn't interested in anything. When COVID hit, obviously being a pastor, we weren't doing anything virtually in our church at that point. Right before COVID hit, we, for whatever reason, the Lord moved us to start doing our services on my phone and my sister's phone. So we have one on Facebook and one on and one on Instagram. So we were doing our services from 2 phones, probably about 2 weeks before COVID shut everything down and we had to get out of the church. So when that happened, and at the time we were having services on Saturdays. So we're having our services on Saturdays. COVID comes in. So now I'm having service on Saturdays, still with the phones. And then on Sunday mornings, I would get up and I would watch other people's services to see what they're doing, to make sure that we're at least somewhat competitive with what, because I'm like, just like Keith Pelzer says, people listen to what they see. When they're scrolling through their phones, they got that little icon with the horn. It's got the line through it. When they see something they like, then they hit that icon and listen to it. So I would go online and I would watch what other preachers were doing. So I've known Keith Pelzer all my life. So I would watch what he was doing. And at first, Keith was doing the same thing I was doing. He was on the phone or his tablet, something like that. So about a month into the pandemic, it's Sunday again, and I'm scrolling through different preachers' services, and I come across Keith, and it's changed. He's sitting at a desk. He's got this mic. It sounds great. The picture's absolutely perfect. It's clear. I pick up the phone. I call Keith. I said, "What did you do? What are you doing? You were on your tablet or you whatever 2 weeks ago. What are you doing? What are you doing?" So he said it was Ecamm, and he introduced me to it. Now I started with Ecamm not in the church, because during that period of time we had actually already started putting together cameras and the things we needed to make the church look good and sound good virtually. I had a guy working in the church. He was using OBS or something else. I don't know what it was he was using. I did not care. It looked good and sounded good. So we were set in the church, but I was still doing my Bible studies with my phone. Now I wanted my Bible studies to look like our services. I wanted the quality to be the same. So that's when I grabbed Ecamm. That's when I had a MacBook already, a MacBook Air. Boy, that thing used to choke trying to keep up with it. It was, the fan would come on and it started coughing. But I started out with Ecamm in my home to do Bible studies. That's the only reason I got it at first, was to do Bible studies. And I did that for about a month and a half. And then I was just moved. The Lord gave me the idea. He put it in my spirit. Start a podcast. Call it the Fryar Place, where the conversations are fire. Here's what it needs to look like. Here's what it needs to sound like. And I started it. The same guy that was doing the stuff at the church for me, he was the one that did the video, our introduction video, visual audio vision. Lou Rogers is his name. He did the introduction to the podcast. And I hit the ground running, and it's been easier as I've gone along. It was stressful at first because I wasn't comfortable using all the stuff, using all the equipment. Yeah, there's a learning curve. I was okay with talking in front of cameras, had done that, been there, done that. I was cool with that. But making sure everything was in place, comments, making sure my volume was right and the sound was right, my interface is right and the cameras are right. If something went wrong, I wasn't familiar with it. I got a wish list from Keith at first, what to buy. I bought the camera, I bought the screen, I bought the Rodecaster Pro, the first one, and I started with that. And I had a few hiccups at first, but man, I really I learned trial and error. I can remember, JP, I bought 2 cameras, right? I bought these A5100 Sonys, and I got them off eBay, and I was just using them to show my room. Okay, so I got one up in front of me. Can I show you?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's share.
I got that one. I got that one. Okay, and then I have this one behind me. So when I bought them, they were working. They were fine. Plugged them in, got them working. They were fine. Like a week later, and this is just the learning curve. A week later, when I go to turn my studio on, because I have everything connected to Alexa, I come into the studio and I say, Alexa, turns the fireplace on, and everything comes on. They wouldn't come on. Those 2 cameras, I just bought them. Those 2 wouldn't come on. They wouldn't come on. So I didn't know what was wrong. Man, I tore this whole studio apart. I bought new cords. I just didn't do the process of elimination the right way. I just didn't know how. So I took everything apart. I bought new cords, put new cords on it. It still didn't work. it was the Casa plugs. The Casa plugs are connected to to Alexa, and they had just gone offline.
Yeah, they disconnected from the.
They just gone offline. But man, I had everything upside down. My wife's looking at me. I turned the studio upside down. I took it apart, and I got a lot of stuff in here. But yeah, it's been great. I have a great time doing this. I've had some great guests. The Fryar Place is not just about sports, although I've had, Hall of Famers on the show, Randall Cunningham, Sterling Sharp, Doug Williams. I mean, I've had some great people, but I've also had, financial experts. I've had therapists on. I've had all kinds of people, just regular folk. I did a daddy-daughter show, and that was tremendous. So it's just been fun and creative creating content. It's awesome. I'm having a ball with it. And there's some things that are happening. Yeah. I'm having a ball. There's some things. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying that's the beauty of it. And that's why you're doing it so well, because you're having fun with what you're doing. Right? Because if you were not enjoying it, you wouldn't be doing it the way you're doing it, right?
Right.
And you gotta love it. You gotta want it for yourself. And the reason why you're looking the way you're looking is personal. It needs to become a personal thing where you personally want to look clear, high quality. You want to sound professionally with a professional audio. Like, it has to be personal. If somebody else is telling you this is what you should do and you don't want it for yourself, you're not going to keep pushing through, and you are not going to learn, the things that you've learned, because there was a learning curve. It was new. You would get frustrated and you would let it go. So family, if you have any question for our guests, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I've seen your question. I'm about to get to that in just a minute. Talking about gear, talking about you investing in trying to level up the things you're doing. Let's take a look.
This stuff can get out of control, man. Listen, people who are listening, they call it gas, gear acquisition syndrome. And if you're not careful, you'll have gas. And I'm not talking about the stinky kind of gas, the kind of gas that'll make you broke.
But realistically, you had to get this specific type of gear to look the way you look. Without it,
again,
you could get by, right?
Well, yeah, I could get by. But again, after I started the podcast, then I actually started, I stopped, because during the pandemic, I was going to the church and I was just standing in front of the cameras and preaching in the church. Nobody in the church, but I just had the cameras there. I'm like, why am I paying this tech guy to come here in the church to stand behind the camera and film me? I'm just stop. Let me do it at my house. So I started doing my messages in the house. And that's when I started using different cameras for my messages. So I've got like 7, 8 different cameras in here, and I use them for my messages to create effect. One up here, one on the side, one on the left, one on the right. I got a slider here that's sliding right now. It's moving. So I can, if I switch to it while I'm preaching, you see it moving. It's doing its thing. And then I've got a guest camera over here. There's a little latency in this camera. It's a little late. No, it's all right. Yeah, there's latency. But it goes to that one. Then I have my camera here that's behind me.
Right.
And I'm preaching. It shows my desk a little bit. So I'm preaching and doing my thing. So yeah, I ended up getting the different cameras because I was preaching my sermons, and I wanted it to look the same as in the sanctuary, because we had several cameras in the sanctuary. So rather than
multi-camera setup.
Yes, multi-camera setting. So that's why and Keith always talks about, you got to have a why. Why am I buying this? Why am I getting this gear? Why am I doing this? Well, that's why. And I still do, every now and then I still do use all the cameras. I've found a way now to use all the cameras during my podcast. So I'll use one of the ones higher up, whether it's in the front or in the back. I'll use that in my intro or my outro. And I'll just switch cameras, particularly if I don't have a guest and it's just me on my podcast. I'll switch the cameras around.
And that's important, what you said, right? That's important what you said, and understanding that your specific setup might not be the best setup for somebody else. And when you
Right.
said you need to know your why, you need to know why exactly do you need a specific setup. Now, of course, like you said, right, COVID changed our way of thinking. Now, most things are remote. We want to have a certain convenience in our home where push button easy, we can really do some things at a certain level. And today is possible, right? You just demonstrated that it is possible from somebody that is not technically, quote unquote, a tech genius to have things set up, learn, and be able to use the technology and show out in a very professional manner. And you want to be professional. Why? Because you understand that if it looks better, people pay more attention to what you're doing. If
Yes,
you
sir.
sound better, people will respect the work that you're doing more. It's just a natural thing. We all prefer better quality productions. So now I know there's some folks on Amazon that are watching this or anywhere else are like, yo, what are the equipment? So you've been pressing some buttons. I have the same
Are
buttons
they
that I'm
asking me what
pressing.
are they asking you what the equipment is?
Yeah, so talk us through what you have on
Oh
your desk.
gosh.
Show us. Let's take a look at the gear.
Okay. Well, let me show you. You can I show you the overhead?
Yeah,
And I can
whatever.
show you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
go.
There you go. Let me get this out of the way over here. So obviously keyboard, I've got 2 Stream Decks, the extra large Stream Deck. That's my scenes. I do my scenes with that. And this Stream Deck here, all I do, I program music in that. Okay. That's all I use that for is for music. I got my Rodecaster Pro, the first version. I don't have the 2, and I don't think I'm going to get the 2. And the reason is because, as you can see, I have this wood thing going on my desk.
Right.
And they haven't made a wood case for the Rodecaster 2 yet, the Rodecaster Pro 2 yet. So I'm going to keep my desk looking like this because I want my desk. That's just, again, that's how I am. My desk needs to look that way. I have this is my iPad here in front. I use my iPad for my comments. So I'll connect it to my computer, and I'll have my comments right here in front of me because my screen, my computer screen, my main camera is right here in a glide gear. That's a teleprompter right there in front of me. I have glide gear. I've got a Sony A6400 with a 30 millimeter lens in there.
All right.
All right. And then let me see if I can. There's you can't see it. Oh, let me do it with this. All right. With my NDI. All right.
There we go.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, it's showing me. It's showing me. So there's my iPad right there.
Yep.
There's the glide gear with the 6400, A6400 and the 30 millimeter. Then right above that, I have the Des View. That's a teleprompter as well. And I have a 6100 in there with a 16 millimeter camera. That is
so on top there you have a Sony A6100 with a 16
yeah,
millimeter.
16. That's this camera right here you're seeing right there.
All right.
That's that camera. All right. Let me go back to the NDI. Up top there, that's an A5100 with the kit lens on it. And I have the Ulanzi widescreen adapter on it. Along with I got the same thing going on behind me here. It's that same thing to my right behind me. And then directly behind me is another camera. That's an A5100 with the kit lens and the Ulanzi wide lens on it. Then right here on the desk, that's an A5100. That's got an 1850 Sigma lens on it. And then over here to my right on the slider is another A5100. And that's got a 16 millimeter on it.
Nice.
And
nice.
That's this camera right there.
Right.
All right. And then above me, what you were seeing, I don't know if you can see that. All I have up there is it's like it's called Ozbot. It's just a webcam. It's a 4K webcam that I use. I didn't want to put a camera up there just to show my desk.
Right.
4K webcam. These are 32-inch monitors. Samsung. Samsonite. Samsung 32-inch monitors
All
right there in
right.
front of me.
And
And
what
I think that's
computer is powering all this?
oh, I'm sorry. That's that's a good question. I've got and it's underneath my desk. And I have Cal Digit connected to it that helps with everything. It's a Mac Mini with the M1 chip in it and 32 gigs.
The M1 Mac Mini. Oh yeah,
M1
fantastic.
Mac Mini. Yeah, and
Fantastic beast.
I've never had a problem. Never had a problem. Even I have a laptop also with the M1 chip in it, MacBook Pro. And I use that for my mobile setup. I showed you this earlier. That's my mobile setup. That's what I was doing out in Mexico a couple of weeks ago. That was my mobile setup with that M1 chip. Those of you who watched the Fryar Place, if you go back and you watch the Lonnie Hunter episode, that was done with that setup in Mexico. It works. Those MacBooks, that M1 chip is awesome. I know they have other stuff coming out that's supposed to be better, but man, that M1
the
chip
M1
is
chip
awesome.
is fantastic.
Well, when I first started out, I had a MacBook Air trying to run one camera. It was struggling. It was it was breathing, it was coughing, it was choking. It just couldn't handle it. And then when I was able to get the Mini, it just changed the game. It changed the game.
Yes.
So yep, that's my setup. I think that's it. I've got multiple mics.
Right. I was going to get to the microphones.
Actually, these were done. They were done by Keith. The microphones were covered by Keith.
Nice.
That's my purple one. I got a yellow
and those
one.
That's the Shure SM7B, right?
Yes, SM7B. This is MV7 right here.
MV7.
Then I have a chair over there where I can put have someone in the studio, and that's another MV7 over there. Can you see that?
Yes, I see it. Yes, we can see it.
That's Johan over there in the corner. Johan doesn't talk back.
And what would you say you prefer between the SM7B and the MV7? Why did you get both? And not the same brand, like the same specific mic? Is it price or is it just preference?
Well, the SM7B is the first mic. I mean, just to be honest with you, SM7B was the first mic that Keith suggested I get. Now, I don't have the cloud lifter on it. I have what we call, and this is kind of Keith's secret sauce. I have a Soyuz box on it. It's like a cloud lifter, but it's called Soyuz, which makes it a little bit softer and makes it sound just a little bit different than the cloud lifter. So I have a Soyuz on this mic. I have a Soyuz on the yellow mic or gold mic, but I have a cloud lifter on the mic that's over there in the corner for my guests. And I like the MV7 because I just used, in order to keep from taking a whole lot of gear when I have my mobile setup, it's USB. It plugs right into plugs right into the Cal Digit or the hub. I can use the hub and it plugs right into it. And it sounds fine. You can go back and watch, a couple of my episodes, me using it when I'm away, and it sounds just fine. You don't have to, you don't have to get anything extra. You don't have to have this Rodecaster or any of that. It plugs right into the computer and it works really great.
Nice.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm.
Now, show us all the cameras together.
Oh.
All of the cameras in one shot together. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that, family. Look at all of this. This is insane. Look at all these cameras. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cameras.
The one moving down there in the right-hand corner, that's my phone on NDI. Yep. I have my phone on NDI.
Man. Which phone is that? Is that an iPhone?
Yes, an iPhone 12 Max.
There you go. Amazing stuff Max, you can do. And when you were showing everything earlier on your phone, that was your iPhone that you're using, and that's what I use as well. People don't realize that you can do so much even with the iPhone connected wirelessly via NDI to your computer, and those are phenomenal things. I'm loving all of this. And look, when we talk about going professional, right, and doing things in excellence and going out loud, You're you're the epitome of it, man. Like you didn't pull any punches. Like you went hard to get everything. So tell
But
me,
you know what, Hightek, this is I come in here sometimes. My wife won't come in here because this is just actually right when I started my podcast, we had to move. So I had to take everything up and move it into a smaller space. I had a bigger space in the other place we were. The place itself was smaller, but the space I was in was bigger. So I'm just in a bedroom right now, and there's not a whole lot of room left with everything that after putting everything in here. But this is my happy place. I come in here, and just being in here makes me feel good because, like you said, this is something I've done. This is mine. Nobody told me, nobody coerced me, nobody tricked me, nobody had anything to do with it. This is me. And I sit in here sometimes and I just sit here for hours because I feel good in here, man. It just makes me feel good.
man, it's amazing. It's truly, truly, truly amazing and inspiring. When I say it's amazing, because it's just inspiring. Somebody will look at you today and will be like, man, this dude is a tech genius. No, an everyday person, just like you, watching this right now, you can do it. And see, that's where I don't want to say, I want you to tell him.
Well, let me tell you something that's happening, because again, my goal for doing this show, I had a goal when I started the show last year in July. My goal was to become monetized in a year, to get 1,000 subscribers by next July. We didn't reach that goal. I think it took us to July, August, September, I think almost September before we got 1,000 subscribers this year. But since then, we're almost at 2,000 in just another month or so. And that was my only goal with it. I mean, I wanted to sound good, wanted to look good, want to have great content, great guests. I've been able to do that. I've been able to have, I had a young lady who was Beyonce's manager. She was on the show. Beyonce and yeah, she was awesome. And I've just been able to have great guests on the show. But because it looked so good, I had a guy on, and you may not know him, but he was a former NFL quarterback. His name is Gus Farrat. He was my guest last week. I had him on in the show. He was so impressed with me changing scenes and, just like you're doing, popping in and popping out, doing it all myself. He was so impressed with it. He's a part of a group called the NFL Alumni Venture Podcast Group. And it's like a Netflix, and they've got different guys who were former players. They have their podcasts in there, and they do some of the work. They have editors, they have all that stuff, and they also get sponsors for you. They create income for you. I'm a part of that now, not because I was seeking them out, but because they saw what I was doing, because it sounded good, because it looked good. Also, I'm doing something now. And maybe you can help me with this in terms of steering me in the right direction. But I have a couple of people that I think what I'm going to do is, one is a therapist. Her name is Dr. Tanya Tinsley. She's seen what I've done. She's been on my show. She wants to do the same thing because she has a podcast. So what we're going to do is every now and then, on a regular basis, the Dr. Tanya Tinsley show will be on the Fryar Place. Her show will be a regular show on my show. Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly.
I met a guy in Mexico. His name is Marty Clemente. Marty wants to do a podcast. I sent Marty a wish list, the same wish list that Keith sent me. He likes to cook. So I said, well, why don't we do a Marty's Menu? So Marty's Menu will be a regular show on the Fryar Place. So it's starting to expand, and I had no intentions of doing that, but it is doing what it's doing because of how it looks and how it sounds and the content that we have on the show.
That's what I'm talking about. Drop the mic, like they said. Drop the mic. Boom. And that closes all out, family. We've gotten to the end of the show, man. Brother
We're
Irving.
done. Oh man, I talked the whole show. You didn't even talk. I'm sorry.
No, you're
Run in my
good.
mouth.
Actually, you're the guest, you're the star, and we wanted to hear from you, and that's the whole goal. You're a host, so you know how to host, how to entertain, how to, make it engaging, and that's what I appreciate as well. We've gone to the end, so how can people connect with you? Those that want to work with you, connect with you, all of that. Where can they go? Let us know.
Well, you can. I mean, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Irving D. Fryar Senior. You can check me out. The Fryar Place. We have a website, www.thefryarplace.com, or you can email me at thefryarplace@gmail.com. Any one of those, you can find me. Check us out. We're live, The Fryar Place. We're live every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Yep, live every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Please go to YouTube, search The Fryar Place, and subscribe. I usually go live on Twitter and on my Facebook page and on the YouTube page. But please, I do that to drive people to the YouTube page or YouTube channel. So check us out. Check us out.
Absolutely. The Fryar Place, amazing show. I personally enjoyed. Go check it out, family. You will appreciate it. Hey, Irving, thank you so much, Mr. Fryar. We appreciate you. Please wait backstage as I close,
Yes, sir.
and I'll be right back with you.
Yes, sir. Enjoyed it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
My pleasure. All right, family. As you can see, we are exiting the room with our guest, and it was fantastic. He showed you that it is possible. You can do it. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be a tech guru or anything like that to be able to do the things that he's doing right now. It just took intentionality. It took personal motivation and the will and desire to show up in a professional manner. Now, Amazon family, if you're watching this and you're like, hey, how are they doing all of this? Like I said during the show, all the gear that was mentioned, the cameras, the switchers, the stream deck, the roadcaster, the microphone, all of that is in the carousel. If you're watching this anywhere, go on Amazon, which is amazon.com/live/JP Hightek, and go ahead and take a look at all the gear. If you're wondering, I want to purchase the same equipment, well, is laid out there for you to go select and see exactly what it takes to produce this type of level of high quality podcast, right? Go check it out. You will not regret this, right? It is amazing. And I want to encourage each and every one of you guys to really take the time, right? Take the time and invest in yourself, right? This is crucial. We need to understand that investing in ourselves is what's going to allow us to actually level up in the things that we're doing, right? If we do not invest in ourselves, we will not be able to really achieve the amazing things that we want to achieve, right? And so as we're growing, as we're doing stuff, we have to be intentional and understand that it does take not just taking classes and learning, but actually looking at people like Irving that are doing it in an amazing way and getting inspired and knowing that, okay, I can do it as well, right? I can do it, and I can actually level up in my production. And once you level up in your production, what happens is natural. People will come to you because there's a lot of folks that wonder how exactly, can they grow their engagement, right? How exactly can they attract people to their show? Well, it takes first showing up, and second, showing up in excellence, right? If you show up in excellence, I can assure you, people will naturally want to connect with you, naturally want to work with you, right? Naturally. So think about that for a second and ask yourself, do I want to show up in excellence? If the answer is yes, look at what Keith did. He showed up in excellence, and today, look at what's happening to his brand. And I hope if you appreciate this type of things that we're talking about every single week, well, I want to encourage you, right? I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, right? JP Hightek Reviews, or at JP Hightek, because YouTube now has, YouTube handles. Go ahead, subscribe to it. And, connect with us every week, every single week. We have a new guest that comes and teaches us, those amazing things that we're talking about, right? So go ahead and do that. and let's grow. This is what this is all about. Let's grow and let's, impact the world together, leveraging video, right? This is crucial. Let's leverage video to do the things that we're trying to do. And I hope this has been an amazing show for a lot of you guys out there. So this is going to close this show. Again, if you want to connect with us, you know what to do. Just go to the website, jphightek.com, and, you will get everything you need right there, right? So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you next week for another episode. Be safe, like I always say. Shalom. Bye-bye, guys. Content Creators University presents Creators Unleashed Act 2. A 2-day power-packed free virtual conference to teach you all the secrets to growing your business with content creation. This is for coaches, teachers, students, leaders, entrepreneurs, videographers, graphic designers, YouTubers, podcasters, beauty professionals, bloggers, social media strategists, artists, music composers, authors. Anybody that uses technology today needs to show up to this event. This is taking place November 17th and 18th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Grab your free ticket today by going to contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference. Seats are filling up fast. It's first come, first served with 10 power-packed speakers. JP Hightek, Tanya Smith, Kirk Nugent, Toy Sweeney, Monty Weaver, Carissa Jennings, Troy Sandage, Pierre Quinn, Jeff Barch, Jermaine Freeman. Creators Unleashed Act 2 in partnership with our official sponsor, Ecamm Live. You do not want to miss this. This will be fire.